Morning all. This is a lesson on the Harrier, which is the kind of gateway to 3D flying. It's a manoeuvre that if you only just learn the Harrier, you'll find that your flying will improve in all areas, especially around the low speed regions. It gives you control of your plane at lower speeds. The Harrier is flown. Let me show you. I'll show you what a Harrier is first of all. Let's get the plane in the air. Okay. The Harrier is flying the plane in the post-stall configuration, and to enter it you can enter it a number of ways, but the simplest way is just to, not the best way, but the simplest way is just to reduce the power, keep pulling back on the elevator until the plane starts to enter the Harrier flight configuration. There we go, I've added power. So the body angle should be roughly like that, 30 degrees to 45 degrees. And we can exit the Harrier at any point by just adding some power, letting the plane fly away. And enter the Harrier again by just reducing power until it starts to enter, and then adding power back again. You will need a reasonable amount of power to hold the Harrier. And there we go, that's what a Harrier looks like. Okay, the four controls now, the most important one is the throttle, and we use that to control the height of the plane. So if I add some throttle, the plane will rise. If I reduce throttle, the plane will fall. And I use the throttle control to control the height that the plane flies at. The ailerons are essentially just used to keep the plane's wings level. Okay, so when we're flying a Harrier, we're really trying to keep the wings level at all times. You can use ailerons to turn a little bit. If I put a little bit of left bank in, the plane will turn to the left, but it's better to use the rudder for turning. The ailerons are primarily used to keep the wings of the plane level. Okay, the rudder, as I've just shown, is used for turning. Okay, so if I apply a little bit of right rudder now, the plane will start to harry around to the right. And I need to add just a little bit of opposite aileron, so I'm adding a tiny bit of left aileron now to keep that in a stable level turn around to the right. Okay, so rudder is for turning. The elevator doesn't control your height anymore. The throttle is controlling your height. The elevator is used to control the body angle of the plane. If you look at the elevator, it's just on about 15 or 20 degrees. And we're just using that to control the body angle of the aeroplane as it's in the Harrier. Now with the body angle, you can fly a shallower Harrier. The plane will go faster. It is actually, though, a bit less stable flying shallower. It flies more stably when it's a bit steeper. There's about 45 degrees, and if you make the angle steeper, the plane just simply goes slower, and you will need to add more throttle to maintain the Harrier at a steeper angle. Okay, that's how to fly it. It's not, I wouldn't say it's easy, but it's something that just takes some practice in the simulator. You definitely want to learn this in the simulator, not with an aeroplane at the field. And what I found myself was that once you learn it in the simulator, you take it to the field and it flies very much just the same. So if you learn it in the simulator, you can take it to the field, then you'll feel more comfortable flying it there. Now, what it gives you is really good control of the aeroplane at low speeds. It means if your plane stalls, flying along, stall the plane, you can still fly it. Okay, that's still flying, right? Instead of being out of control in a stall. So if I get into trouble at low speeds, I can still fly the plane, get myself out of trouble. It also helps with landings. Let's have a look at some landings. So that was a bit of a stall there. You can see how being able to Harrier helped me get out of that stall situation, that turn. A normal landing, keeping the body level, controlling the height with the power, and a bit of a flare at the end. Okay, that's a normal landing. And if we look at a Harrier landing, which is really just a very mild Harrier, that lets you control the plane all the way to the ground at very low speed. So let's have a look at that. Get the plane, there we go, there's that stall again. Okay, we're now in just a very mild Harrier. I'm going to land the plane. Keep the plane flying slightly just on the verge of the Harrier. Control the height with the power. And there we go, that's barely a Harrier, but it's a low speed landing. And lets you have a lot of control and make really good landings. As for ways to enter the Harrier, let's have a look at a couple of those. You saw one already, which is simply to slow down. Okay, you can do that at any height. If I'm quite high, and I reduce the throttle to 0, and keep adding elevator, the plane will actually fall like this. Now I'm at full elevator, and the plane is falling in what's called a parachute manoeuvre, and I can just add power and pull out of that to go back to a Harrier or to fly away in normal flight. Another way to enter it, which is kind of an aerobatic manoeuvre, is to go straight up, roll the plane away, cut the throttle to 0, and pull full up elevator. The plane will go straight into that parachute configuration, or elevator, and I'm steering now with the rudder. There's a bit of right rudder, a bit of left rudder, and I add power when I need to bring the plane back into a Harrier or to fly away. Let's have a look at that again. So we go straight up, wings away, full up elevator and 0 power, steering with the rudder, controlling the wings level with the ailerons, and adding power gradually as we get towards the bottom and reducing the elevator to keep the body at the level we want. There you go, that's a Harrier. It will improve your flying hugely if you can learn how to do just a little bit of that, even in the simulator. Thank you.